Time. Almost a decade ago, it was this competition that initially pulled me into this world of specialty coffee. Seeing something that I already loved, presented at levels of detail beyond what I realized could be possible, I knew immediately that I wanted to be part of this community and of coffee competition. So I uprooted, I changed careers, and I moved across the country, all in pursuit of mentorship and training for this new goal of mine, which would eventually lead me to the most important experiences and relationships in my life so far. And so these days, the competition season has become a year-round passion project for me. I'm constantly looking for ways to refine my routine and push the limits of flavor potential. Ultimately, my goal is to deliver the most extraordinary possible tasting experience for you all. Judges, my name is Reef, and I am so excited to share this coffee with you all here today. This coffee is a geisha variety, grown at 1,960 meters above sea level, and produced in El Paraiso, Colombia, by the renowned Diego Bermudez. Now, Diego utilizes a processing experiment for this coffee in particular that he calls double fermentation thermal shock. Now, this starts with the coffee in whole cherry in an aerobic environment in contact with oxygen. The coffee is fermented at the low temperature of 30 degrees Fahrenheit for the extended duration of 60 hours time, building up a liquid byproduct in the base of the tank called a leachate. This liquid byproduct contains active sugars and bacteria that help to promote fermentation. So after this first stage, the leachate is drained and collected. The coffee is depulped and then washed. Both are added together to a secondary fermentation tank, within which the tank is pressurized using carbon dioxide gas, creating now an anaerobic environment for the second stage fermentation. The tank is also preheated up to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, opening up the coffee's pores, allowing the sugars from the leachate to be more effectively absorbed in this stage. After an additional 30 hours in this environment, the coffee is removed and added to a circular mechanical drying system, where it is dried to 10% moisture content throughout, achieving even roasting and solubility for extraction. I found the flavors that Diego has derived through his processing experiment to be at their most balanced at just over a 2-to-1 ratio, 19.2 grams in the basket and 42 grams in the cup. So that's exactly what I'll be serving you today for your espresso course, and this extraction is in about 20 seconds. For drinking instructions, I'd like you to evaluate the visuals, including the crema, and then I'm going to come through and stir your coffees to an ideal drinking experience temperature, just below 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So please hold off on tasting for now. Up front, the aroma on this coffee will be of ripe peach. That aroma will lead to an initial flavor of peach candy. You'll get fresh guava, and the finish will be like black tea, mildly drying and pleasantly lingering in that finish. The texture will be silky and it'll have medium weight. Once I remove your frozen spoon from your espresso, please go ahead and enjoy. And again, you're looking for ripe peach aroma, leading to peach candy flavor, and then fresh guava. You'll get a finish mildly drying and pleasantly lingering like black tea with silky texture and medium weight. Please enjoy. Cheers. Enjoy. And cheers.
All right, round of applause for that espresso round.
And judges, while you're enjoying your espresso, I'll be chilling one of my ingredients for my signature course. We'll come back to this later on. All right, judges. And now, for your second course, my milk beverage. To elevate the milk paired with Diego's experimental process geisha, I started with raw and unprocessed, grass-fed Jersey's cow milk. Now, this milk is non-homogenized, allowing me to easily strain the top layer of buttercream from one bottle and reconstitute it to a fresh bottle of the same milk, effectively doubling its already high 6% butterfat up to 12% in your milk course here today. Now, raw milk is also unpasteurized. Typically processed pasteurized milks are pressurized and heated up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, drastically enhancing the shelf life, but also destroying nutrients, including sugars naturally found in the milk. So for my milk course today, I'm using a technique called ultra low temp pasteurization, where I added the raw milk to a glass bowl and heated gently up to 140 degrees exactly for 30 seconds before flash chilling in an ice bath, locking in all of the natural sweetness and nutrients found in this milk and also extending its shelf life for me to be able to serve it to you today. I'm using the same espresso extraction for this course, just over that 2-to-1 ratio in about 20 seconds. And I'll be pairing that with 3 ounces of my ultra low temp Jersey Cow's double cream milk. Now, for drinking instructions in this course, again, hold off on tasting, as I'll come around and stir this course for you as well, this time with a room temperature spoon, to ensure that I dissolve crema into the milk fully and making a more uniform flavor for your experience in this course. So please go ahead and evaluate visuals, but hold off on tasting. For notes, once I've removed the spoon from your glass, I want you to look for white chocolate, followed by vanilla cream wafer. You'll get buttered shortbread cookie, and then coconut cream. And finally, again, I want you to look for white chocolate, vanilla cream wafer, buttered shortbread cookie, and coconut cream. So I'm going to come by and stir this crema in to incorporate with the milk, more uniform flavor. Once I remove, feel free to enjoy. And here you are. Cheers.
All right, let's hear it for those
Please
milk
enjoy.
beverages.
Cheers. Enjoy. Okay, judges. In your final course today, my signature drink, I'll be using techniques directly inspired by Diego's experimental processing method to capture new and exciting flavors for this course for you. I started by straining the dairy that I used in your last course to isolate its liquid whey protein within. And this is going to represent the liquid leachate used in Diego's processing. Because this contains active bacteria that help to promote fermentation, I added it in equal parts with jasmine blossom honey and crushed white grapes for 48 hours, evolving the white grapes flavor from the honey sugars, feeding that whey protein and starting the process of fermentation. After 48 hours, I added 6 milligrams of tartaric acid, killing the active bacteria and stopping the fermentation before this ingredient could develop any traces of alcohol. I'm adding all 60 grams of this white grape leachate syrup that I've made for your signature drink today. Next, I started my presentation by brewing that filtered coffee, which I'm already flash chilling in these canisters. It's brewed at a 14-to-1 ratio to highlight acidity and enhance texture. I also sifted the grounds, removing anything smaller than 500 microns in size, increasing clarity by reducing bitterness. And this will reveal new and exciting floral aromas and flavors in your signature course. Representing that thermal shock stage of Diego's process, I've flash chilled these in hyper chillers that offer instant chilling with no dilution, locking in those volatile aromatic compounds that you'll experience as jasmine flower in this course. Next, I pulled 2 of the espressos that you tried in your previous courses, but extended the ratio slightly to 3-to-1 at 45 grams in the basket with the same dose. And just slightly more contact time, this offers more sweetness in Diego's espresso, but it also dilutes the texture. So to offset this change and represent the pressurized stage of Diego's fermentation, I'll be charging this ingredient and all other ingredients using the pressure of nitrous gas inside of this chamber here. So I'm adding 60 grams of white leachate, 200 grams of thermal shock filtered coffee, and 90 grams of the extended extraction Diego espresso, and charging with nitrous gas to create creamy, cascading foam in this chilled beverage that reminds me of sipping on a Guinness draft beer. These ingredients will create flavor synergy greater than their individual parts. And I want you to look for a new flavor created by that white grape leachate interacting with the flavors of Diego's geisha. Looking for an upfront flavor in this course of strawberry candy. Now, sifting and flash chilling the filter coffee reveals that new exciting floral of jasmine flower. And in your second sip of this drink, those 2 flavors will be met with fresh pineapple and lime sherbet. So for drinking instructions, when you receive your glass, just go ahead and sip through the top layer of foam, getting into the base, more liquid layer of this beverage. And just enjoy. Your first sip, you'll get strawberry candy and jasmine flower. Your second sip, it'll be met with fresh pineapple and lime sherbet. So again, just sip through the top layer of foam, getting into the liquid base of the drink. And please enjoy. Cheers. Enjoy. And cheers. Please enjoy.
What a good crowd. I don't even have to tell you what to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. One more big round of applause for Reef, Bessette from the coffee movement. All right. Reef. Let's talk French.
Oh, I'm not quite done. Yeah. One more thing to say. When you're all ready, take your time. Judges, when Diego was asked what he'd like to name this processing experiment, he decided on calling it Letty Bermudez, named after his youngest daughter. His goal in doing this effort was to inspire the next generation of producers to transcend his traditions of coffee processing as we know them. And I realize now this competition does a similar thing for this industry. Today's competitors pushing our limits, inspiring the next generation of competitors to transcend their traditions and take the coffees that we love to new flavor potentials we never thought could have been possible. It's been an honor to be part of this tradition and this community. Thank you for the opportunity. Cheers and time.
All right, for real now.
Thank you.
It's for real now. Sorry, Reef.